Alrighty. Welcome to the first episode of the Cauldron Counsel. Holy crap, I am so excited.
Me too.
I am so excited for this, y'all. The Cauldron Counsel, where you submit your questions and your questions get answered by 3 witches: the Maiden, the Mother, the Crone, 3 age groups, 3 different walks of life, 3 archetypes. How cool is this, right? So,
I am Percy. I am representing the Maiden.
I'm Bella. I'm representing the Mother.
and I am Mimsy, the Crone. Right, we ready to just dive into this, get our first question out of the cauldron?
I know it's going to be that one.
It's gonna burn me!
It's gonna be that
No,
one.
I'm just kidding. It's not gonna do that. It might. Okay, so this was submitted anonymously. What's one magical practice you think is overrated and one that's underrated?
Ooh.
So, hot take. I personally think like the cord cutting candle magic is so overdone. Oh my gosh. It is so overdone. It's like beating a dead horse. There's so many other ways to do things. And I personally think one that's very underrated is herb magic, whether that's kitchen magic or just the use of herbs in general, because there's something that's so readily available to everyone and no one uses them.
Right?
They're like, I gotta use this crystal and I gotta buy this fancy. No, go to Walmart. 98 cents. You can do some crazy stuff with that.
Yes.
Genuinely.
Yes, the craft does not have to be expensive.
No. That's what kept me so long from really going down the rabbit holes. I was like, I financially cannot afford to do all the things these people are doing. I can't do it.
Yes, you can.
Then it
Yes,
was like,
you can.
no, you really can. It can be bargained as long as the intuition and the emotion behind it is correct. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, and now that's where I am. So,
So one thing I've learned a lot, and you've taught me a lot too, by the way. This is one of my best friends as well. She has taught me a lot, but I also did a lot of learning on my own. And so one of the people that I love to watch, that you love to watch, and I didn't know we were both watching him at the same time until we started talking about it. And you're like, I love him.
The antler crown.
Yes. Oh my
Yes.
God. And you know what? He has taught me so much. And so I know like what she was saying with the cord cutting. Cord cuttings are really great and they work. Okay. But one thing I will say to you is that people get on fads and they see something online and then they will repeat it. And then everyone else repeats it off that video. And so one of the things I've seen, and I'm just, if your intention is there, yes, it's probably gonna work. But I'm just gonna say, and please don't come at me for this, I'm just gonna say it. Everyone is using the cord cuttings and letting it burn the cord. Antler specifically says too, and I love him by the way, he says, fire is chaotic. But it's a fad because everybody likes the candles and the sparkles and the flames of it all. But what they're really doing is they're doing a binding. Whereas when you actually cut it, which is, a cord cutting, it's cutting.
The clue's in the name. Cutting.
You're cutting it. You're taking
It's
it
in
into your
the name.
It says it in the name. It's not a cord burning.
make sure you got good scissors.
That.
Oh, also, yeah, that too, but they are a fad, but also, one thing he taught me too was that fire is chaotic, and that's true. And when you start walking this path and you start learning stuff, a lot of times fire is one of the first elements that you tend to learn. For me, that was also true because I was in my bathtub surrounded by candles and I'm like jamming out, and then all of a sudden I look over and I've got like head-banging flames, and I'm like, how is that happening? I'm doing that because I'm jamming, I'm like, okay, is it the wind? And I'm like still doing it in my head, and I'm looking at them and they're like, rock on, and I'm like, yes, little flame babies. And I thought it was the coolest thing ever, but when you actually really start working with, the elements and stuff, and studying that pathway, you also learn about water, and you learn about air, and you learn about earth, and all 4 of those things are really important in almost every path in this spirituality. They really, really are. And so, I would kind of agree with you on that. But one of the other biggest fads I would say is that some people tend to look at a spell book and be like, oh, I can't do this spell because I don't have this one ingredient. No, man. Learn your herbs.
Yes.
Learn your herbs. Know what they do. Okay? Because you don't have to read someone else's spell. Well, guess what? Today I need some money. So I'm going to get some mint. And I'm going to get some rosemary too, because I want to protect that money afterwards. And I'm going to throw some salt in there also to protect it. And then I'm going to throw in some calendula, because I love calendula. It's sunshine.
Calendula.
And you know what? I'm going to sprinkle some rose petals on it because I love love. Self-love. Mainly.
Love money.
And so I think that is one of the things that people also think. Also, Antler talks a lot about pine cones. I love it. He picks up a pine cone and he goes, this is worth a lot of money. People pay good money for these pine cones, you know?
They do.
What he's actually making is a statement. He's saying, you don't have to have crystals. You don't have to have a whole ritual space. And I'm not saying those things aren't cool and fun too. And I have large ritual spaces and lots of crystals and everything I could ever want. But I also did some of my best magic ever without a single magic item. I did it with rocks that were different sizes that I had picked up each time I went to the lake. And then I started throwing them down on the ground. And guess what? I learned how to read my future off of rocks.
Yes.
From the lake.
Yes.
Seashells that you have. Bathroom ornaments that are seashells. Pick those things up and throw them down, see what happens. Figure it out. There's a lot of things that are just so overrated, and you don't have to have all kinds of expensive stuff. So that's one thing. What's underrated? Intuitive magic. Intuitive magic.
Yes.
Everybody thinks that there's a certain way you have to do it. That's wrong. When you're sitting on the front porch and it comes to you and you're like, you know what? I feel like I should light a candle and, I'm going to throw some oils on it too. What kind of happy home oil? I'm going to throw some of that on there. And you're like, you know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to put a crystal. I should probably do that. And then you come up with a whole recipe of something that you wanted to do by yourself. Not a spell that someone else wrote, but what was speaking to you at the moment. Do it. That's what's underrated. You don't have to go by a recipe book. This isn't, you're not making, tartar or some kind of
You're not making a cake.
risotto. This isn't like,
You're not making
what's
a
that,
cake.
Chef Ramsay?
Don't throw Gordon under the
No one's
bus.
gonna jump out and be
him.
like, you did that cord cutting wrong.
You idiot sandwich.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
No one's doing that. Do it how you think you should do it. But know your herbs and know your crystals, okay? Don't go putting a love crystal in the middle of like a hex or something. That's probably not good.
Yes.
That's
I
how,
agree.
That's how
I
you
mean,
end up keeping somebody.
if you do need to substitute, herbs or crystals, that's where the knowledge comes in.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to know what they do so that you know how to work with them.
Open up your kitchen cabinet. Sage is in there. Most
Kitchen
people put it on
witchery.
turkey every year, and it sits in the back of the freaking shelf, and nobody uses it for the
I
whole
put
year.
sage in a lot of shit. I put sage in my meatloaf.
All right. Well, maybe I'm not cooking with enough spices. I know who's going to say something about that.
I
I'm
do
just telling
too.
you, better keep that mouth shut, boy. Anyway,
Yeah.
your turn.
Okay, so let me read the question again,
Okay.
just so I can make sure I've got it right. Magical practice you think is overrated. Overrated, I would say, you're gonna laugh, freaking love spells. I think love spells are so overrated. Everyone, you're right, everyone loves love. Everyone loves love. But what's the most important part of love?
Free will.
I mean, yeah.
Reciprocal truth
Okay.
and love.
I would say yourself. Loving yourself is
Oh.
the
Oh, yes.
most
Whoops.
important.
I knew that
Part of
answer.
love.
I feel like I failed the test.
No. And I may have worded it, poorly.
Free will.
I'm all about that, the self-love.
Freedom. But yeah, self-love is great. So I definitely, what's the word I'm looking for? I encourage self-love spells 100% every time. Trying to make somebody else fall in love with you, or like, I want this person so badly. If you have to do anything, whether it be magical or mundane, to try and,
Coerce.
manipulate or coerce this person into your life, like, what are you doing, baby girl or baby boy? I mean, guys do it too, let's be honest.
I've had women come into our store and complain of men taking.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So self-love, great. but overrated, just love spells for, you know, trying
like
to get somebody
One
else.
of the first things you warned me off of when I met you was like, listen, ma'am, don't do love spells. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's
not worth it.
It's not worth it. And I was like, I don't ever want to in general. And you just re-solidified that for me.
Unless you're doing it on yourself. Love yourself.
Self-love is great. And
Working
if you
on it.
want to bring love to you,
Go ahead. I'm gonna let you cook.
And I know, because I'm in love with love. I'm a Taurus, I'm a lover big time, and I love love, all right? And if you want to be in love, always write truth and love on your candle towards the wick, period. Bring truth and love. Because that is specific. And be specific in magic, okay? All right, be specific. You don't want to be
And
like
why is
closed
that?
off.
Why should you be specific?
You don't want to be like living out in the middle of nowhere and the only person that you see like ever for like 6 months at a time is your cousin, and then all of a sudden, you know, bam, I'm sorry, that was probably a bad explanation.
I'm assuming we're talking about love spells in this
Yes,
scenario.
right. I'm just saying, like, don't say like, oh, bring me love as quickly as possible, and then all of a sudden you and your cousin are like,
Oh no.
I'm sorry. Anyway, so I write truth and love always when I do my candles. If I was to bring love. Now, I'm no longer single, but you know, me and my husband, we have done spells together jointly, and that's okay. You know, if you're wanting to, you know, test it out, and also, you know, because we teach also, you know, I'm like, let's see if it works, you know. It actually doesn't on him. That's probably the only person it's never worked on, but, or maybe
Interesting.
we just love each other so much anyway, we wouldn't even notice, you know, and that's beautiful.
It's a true
That means
kind of
that
love.
maybe some of my work before it did work, you know, that truth and love thing. Got him.
Got him.
Or maybe I did. I'm just kidding. I don't have the time to sit around lighting candles for someone who might not love me. And that's the
Yes.
thing, is that, you know, when you're lighting a candle for someone to fall in love with you, either the person isn't aware, or you might be on the verge of obsession. And that tells me that there is probably a situation where you need healing for yourself. And the truth is, you won't ever bring that truth and love until you heal yourself. When you heal, everything is attracted to it. It's magnetic. When you're
Yes.
healed, and people will feel it around you, and that's gonna come. Love spells, I get you, overrated. I agree with you.
So I've got one more that I think is also overrated, and this, you know, this might be an unpopular opinion, and it's probably gonna peeve a little people.
We love a hot take.
Yeah. So
I feel like this is gonna be hit at me.
no, not
Okay,
at all.
good.
No, because we've talked about this before.
Okay.
When somebody says you can substitute rosemary for anything.
I've not even heard that one.
Really?
We've talked about it.
Okay, we've talked about it.
Her?
So, rosemary can be substituted for a lot of different things, and I mean a lot.
Yes.
A very, very wise friend of mine had told me once, and she's gonna know who she is, that rosemary is what she refers to as the holy trinity of herbs, or the trifecta, because rosemary is great for love, protection, and money. So any of those three workings, you can put rosemary in those, or substitute it for something else for those three workings. There's a lot of stuff that rosemary can do, but rosemary cannot do everything. And don't get me wrong, I love rosemary. I use rosemary for a lot of things. I use rosemary in place of sage. I don't
like sage either.
I don't like sage. And the reason is because I don't.
We know why.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
I don't want to get rid
The
of
smell is
everything.
appalling.
No, I like the smell. I
I
like
love
the
the
smell.
smell of sage.
I don't like it.
It's because
I
sage
literally don't like it.
Gets rid of everything.
gets rid of everything. It gives you a completely clean slate.
I don't like that.
I like to keep
want
my
to
pets.
exactly right. I want to get rid of the negative. I want to keep the energy that I have put into something, the good energy, the positive energy. I want that all in there. I want to keep the positive energy that, you know, my sisters have put into something. Like, I don't want to get rid of it. Rosemary takes out the negative, leaves the good. So that's why I use rosemary. Sometimes rosemary and lavender together to smoke cleanse is a good combination. But yeah, I don't do sage. Anyway.
I burned rosemary today on someone who was having a spiritual, attack, kind
I
of.
love it.
And that was intuitive. actually, because, you know, we have all the herbs at the store we could ever ask for. So I'm just like, and it's weird, you know, when you're doing it the intuitive way, right? Like, one time when we made like a jar, coven jar, to be honest, everybody went and picked out an herb and to put in there. And so afterwards, you know, and everybody's newness and stuff, you know, some of us didn't know what the herbs meant. So we looked them up as we put them in the jar, and that it was so perfect because every single herb intuitively represented that person. So I picked saffron.
That's so you. It is.
It is me.
It's so you.
I love saffron so much. So
Very
that
expensive.
was me.
I love you.
I love it too. They're not wrong. But, you know, that is something that it was intuitive. It wasn't like, and that whole jar that we did together like that was also intuitive. I didn't look that up in a recipe book. You know, one day you taught me about Rose of Jericho. And that, my friends, if you haven't done Rose of Jericho, we should probably do one on a segment one day.
We should.
We'll show them the before and after. But, you know, there was an instance where our coven was growing. We'll say growing. And so at the end of that, you had already showed me earlier that day, you know, what was going to happen with it. And I was stupid excited about this thing. I was like so excited. I watched it and she's like, it's going to take a while. And I'm like, I'm waiting for it to come out, you know. It was really cool. But anyway, at the end of it, when she explained to me what the meaning was behind it too, and we're all learning. You're going to learn stuff new every day, right? You know, I chose to take my hands and dip them into that rosemary, or sorry, not rosemary, but Rose of Jericho water, and place it on each of my coven members in a new beginning and a fresh start. We needed that. We have a multi-group of people too. You're going to have a lot of different feelings and intentions. There was one more thing I was going to say about the something that I guess I lost it. So
If it comes back to you, let me know.
Okay.
Because I still have to pick a magical practice that is underrated. You know, you kind of took my answer on that. Being that I do work with herbs a lot, I think that it is one of the most powerful magical tools that anyone can have in their apothecary, in their pantry, whatever you want to call it. They're so versatile, and they're amazing. Herbs are so amazing, and there's so many things that you can do with them. You can, you know, I love tea. I love making herbal tea.
She's good at that. Yeah.
You can make.
She can spill it too.
Yeah. You can make, you know, salves and lotions and oils and so many. You can burn them. You can smoke them. Like, there's just so many things that you can eat them. They taste good.
You could
Some
do
of
a
them
lot
taste
of
good.
negative
Not
things
my
with the
boy.
herbs too.
You
But
can do
we're
a
not
lot
going to go
of
there.
negative things. But yeah, I think you're right. I think you hit it on the head that herbs are so underrated. Maybe not underrated so much as underused. I think they're underused. Everything I do has herbs in it. Everything.
I remembered.
What is it?
One thing that irks me to death. Oh, I'm sorry in advance. I love you all. Peace and blessings. But I'm going to say it. One thing that irks me to death is, like, I used to be part of a bunch of Christian mom groups. Those were the worst. Those people tore into each other. I'm like, what kind of group is this? This is crazy. Y'all are so mean. So mean. And so I, like, joined, when I was first beginning this walk, I'm joining, like, every single witch group I can. I wanted to have as much knowledge as possible. And everybody gets along fine unless you mention one thing. And that's the Threefold Law.
No! God, please, no! No!
Oh,
Holy crap, dude.
yeah.
What's wrong with y'all? Y'all talking about the climate makes your man mean. Seriously.
Yeah.
It's okay, and I'm not going to go too deep into that because I'm not trying to hurt feelings. Believe whatever you want to believe. I believe something differently than you do, probably. And that's fine too. I love everybody and everybody's reasons. But seriously, I'm pretty sure y'all is texting each other over this damn shit. It's not okay.
We can agree to disagree. Can agree to disagree.
Nice to each other. We're all we got.
For the record, I don't believe in the Threefold Law.
I do. I don't believe in it quite like 100% that way, but I've seen good things come when I put good things out in the world.
Yeah, you know, I agree with. 100%.
I feel like when I do good deeds, when I put good into the world, when I heal people, when I go and help with catastrophes and stuff like that, when I give to people that need it, when I'm making enough money to do that, I feel like that comes back in such beautiful ways so quickly.
We are beacons for the energy that we put out.
I believe
We're beacons for whatever energy we put out.
I believe my ignorance is showing because I don't have an opinion either way.
That doesn't mean you're ignorant. You just don't.
Ignorant is uninformed. I'm unknowledged in the realm of that.
That
don't
one
have the
really
experience
gets to
for
me.
that.
I like hate to see it even brought up. I'm like, if I see anything that says anything about it, I'm like,
Just keep scrolling. Just keep scrolling.
I'm not doing
It's
this
like you
today.
had me in the first half.
Yeah.
No longer.
No.
I don't even want to know. I know exactly what those comment sections look like. You know, this is Sparta. Are you not entertained?
All right, are we ready for the next question?
We are. Whose turn?
Yours?
Mine.
You, Miss
Wait.
Mum.
Oh, this biggie. What is it says submitted by hey. What is the best way to keep bad energy away from you while at work? Some people just swim in bad energy and I need that to stay away from me to keep enjoying my job. So I like my peace. And for that I am willing to do quite a bit. Which means that, like, just gonna be really honest here, I'm an oils lover and I use my strengths, okay? So if you are annoying the shit out of me at work and you're bringing that bad energy, I guarantee you I put some oil on that ass, dude. I put some bend over oil and told you to go away. Go back to your desk and I'll breathe there, okay? I probably have selenite crowns on my head. And I blink rapidly at you without saying anything. That's a pretty good sign. You should walk away. If it continues from there, I'm probably going to get some vanishing oil, some hot foot, maybe some brick dust, some salt across my area. And I don't care. My peace is precious to me. And if you're ruining it, I am going to make sure that you leave that space and maybe not ever come back. Go find a new job. That's just how savage I am about my peace, but I've had to be that way because I used to be a doormat and I just don't care anymore and I don't have time to allow that. And I understand this is her job and she's got to be there. And that means that you need your job for the money. And if someone is wasting all of their time on the clock, bringing negative energy to you, maybe they aren't busy enough. Maybe they need more work. Okay? Yeah. Maybe you should manifest that shit for them and see how quickly they get away from you when every time they come near you, they suddenly get a pile of shit they have to do. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Your turn.
Well, I will say, I think, you know, this really kind of depends on where the bad energy is coming from, because if it's coming from customers, if it's like a service job or a retail job, or if it's coming from coworkers, that's two completely different scenarios, right? Mm-hmm. Because you can't treat them the same. I mean, you could, but you might get in trouble. And if you want to keep enjoying your job, you kind of need to keep that job. So if it's customers, you know, it just be nice. I know that sucks and that's such a mundane answer, but there's really not much you can do to change a customer's attitude. You just have to figure out how to not let it affect you, how to let it ruin your day. If it's coworkers, again, another mundane answer, document, make sure that if they are breaking any policies or creating a hostile work environment, make sure that you're documenting that and reporting it, you know, as needed. Now, magically speaking, you can wear what?
I'm waiting for you to get hostile.
But
you're probably not going to do it.
Magically speaking, you can wear some crystals that might help. You can wear obsidian. If you're able to wear jewelry, you can wear obsidian necklace, obsidian bracelet. Yes.
Citrine is great as well. This stuff is
citrine.
really, really awesome. I love this. I have it all the time.
Yep.
Selenite. Yeah, selenite. I'm sorry.
Selenite.
I know the word.
Yes.
I know that word.
Selenite. So yeah, tourmaline is another really good one. Tourmaline is a transmutation stone, so it takes in the bad energy and it spits out the good energy. So funny story, okay? When I was working in an office, I had my own office, and every time I would order something for lunch, like, delivery, those little salt packets that they give you, little salt and pepper packets? I started putting those because I never used them, I started putting all those salt packets above the door of my office. Above the door
so it's
frame.
easy to clean.
And I just, one by one, I filled up the door frame to where I had a whole line of those salt packets across my office door. And what was funny is once I got enough to where that, the whole door was covered, there were 2 people in particular that stopped coming into my office.
Really?
Completely stopped coming to my office. One of them would come in all the time to just sit and bitch. Just sit and bitch. And
I know we have like a little buddy over here flying around. We're going to have to do something about that magically. I need some of that salt.
But yeah, like they would just come and sit and bitch, and I would let them. I understand needing to vent, and I always wanted my office to be sort of a safe space for people to do that if they needed to come and complain about their job or complain about other coworkers. Like, I'll sit and listen, it's fine. But this one was, it was pretty constant. And then there was another one that would also come pretty regularly to just complain about everything and try to tell me, like, you need to change this, you need to do that, blah, blah, blah. And again, I would just sit and listen, okay, I will take your suggestions into consideration, and thank you for sharing.
It's a polite way to say the fuck away.
Basically, yes. And then once I had that line of salt completed, those 2 people, the first one completely stopped even coming down the hall where my office was. Just stopped. Like, dead stop.
Do you know how much patience you have to do that way?
I have a lot of patience.
I would have filled pixie sticks up with some salt or something before that. I wouldn't even thought about that.
I have a lot of patience. And then the second one, they would still come to my office, but they stopped coming. They would stop at the door to ask me questions.
Yeah, funny how that works.
And when that started happening, I was like, okay, yep.
We know who the problem is.
You have to come out sometime.
Yep.
So, I do agree with, on a fundamental level, I'm a big motivator for kill them with kindness, because at the end of the day, when someone is bringing negativity to you, it's kind of petty. One of the best ways I've found to negate someone bringing negativity to you is to make it seem like you are not affected and that you're just so great to the point it pisses them off, because they start trying. They start purposefully, maliciously at some points trying to mess with you, and it doesn't work. And it's so frustrating that eventually they get bored. They tend to get bored. People are very one-track minded.
Short attention span.
Yeah, they move on. And I really, now, like, you made a very good point. If it's customers, it's kind of like a duck with water. Let it roll off your back, kind of move on. If it's a regular, as somebody who's bartended and had, like, a regular I didn't freaking like and was like, please go away, don't come to my bar. You kind of just have to grin and bear them and hope that they come not on your shift. And you learn ways, what their triggers are, ways that you can get them to be more complacent with you versus they're more hostile or however. And so you learn to read them really well, and so you can just kind of mitigate having to actually deal with them. You just give them bare bones. Whereas if it's your...
to me before. Whereas it sounds familiar.
Where if it's a coworker or a boss, I had a boss who was a negative Nancy.
It wasn't me, was it?
Nancy. No, no, casinos are very rough workplaces. She negative Nancy. And it really was just she was miserable. Honestly, is what it was. She was miserable, so she brought that to all of us wage slaves.
I feel like that's probably the case more often than not. Again, we are beacons to what we put out there.
And so
I would just was like, she'd get mad and crappy with me, and I was just like, all right. I just walked off. I was like, okay, I don't. As long as I can keep my job, I don't really care.
How can you even be found by an employer at the casino? You know what? I was watching Oklahoma
nobody
there. The scanner files for Oklahoma are awesome. Way better than any Netflix show, by the way. Anyway, the other day I was watching WinStar. They had someone get full nude in, what is it, Madrid? The Madrid section? Or Madrid?
Madrid.
Yes.
Section.
Full nude.
Yeah, because
out there.
WinStar is the
What
sections of the
you
world.
gonna chase them down and grab them while
Yeah,
he's nude?
no, that's what security does. Yes, 100%.
Man, I wish I would have been there
100%.
for that. That would have been hilarious.
100%.
It's way better than noodling.
My casino was
probably
not,
more slippery too.
My casino was not that big, but like we had instances with people like we had a gentleman literally headbutt one of my coworkers in the face.
Oh,
and
no.
like security jumped on that motherfucker so damn quick.
Oh,
Like,
really?
Yeah, no. Security at the casino does not play, and if security has to call the casino police, which are a whole separate entity, you just hope you can leave the parking lot before they get there, because they're like little G.I. Joe soldiers. They're scary.
Are they?
They're hot, but they're scary.
I mean,
So they
don't
have-
tempt me
They
because
have,
I'll just be
they
like,
have
hey.
like a harder disciplinary regimen than like military. Like they are kept to a standard. They're like little soldiers, but they have to be for their
Yeah.
job, moving money and doing all the things that they do.
My
makes
favorite
sense.
machine is that little voodoo guy. I know you're super shocked. Seriously, little voodoo guy. Hey, don't take my money. Don't take my money.
You know, I had a customer throw a hot dog at me one time.
Did you catch it? Was it your husband?
No!
I am very
No, this
thankful.
was a customer. So, like, there was a time where, I worked in food service, and it wasn't a restaurant. It was one of those. It was kind of like a deli type situation where you would go through and we'd make your food,
like a
as you go
Subway or
through.
like Denny's.
Kind of,
Or
yeah.
not Denny.
Not Denny's.
Denny.
How did you get mad
it's
at that?
It's not Roadhouse. Dickies, where it's like
Yes.
you tell
Yeah,
them.
kind of like that.
It's a barbecue place.
Yeah,
with the hot
Dickies.
dogs.
No.
It's
Okay,
just a
I'm
barbecue
sorry.
place.
No,
That's
I'm sorry.
similar.
What? Why would you?
But
I'm sorry.
if it was something that they ordered that had to be
I thought we were
cooked,
talking about hot dogs.
and if there was a backup, then we'd tell, like, go ahead and go through the line, go sit down, we'd give them a table number, right? And we'd
got
bring
you,
the
we'll
food
bring
out
it
to
to
you.
you.
Right, that way you don't have to just stand there and wait for it. Well, I go to take this order out to a table, and the lady, like, she comes walking up to me as I'm holding this, this tray of food, and she throws this hot dog at me and says, "This bun is not hot." And the hot dog, like, hits me in the chest, bounces off, and falls into the tray of food that I'm carrying for another customer.
Which is now contaminated.
Which now I can't take. Yeah, now I'm like, okay. And there was a moment where a flip sort of switched in my brain, and I was like, I can get really, really mad at this, and honestly have
A
the
very
right
valid
to do
reason.
so, or I can just spin this and try to make this not about me, not about her, just, oh no, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I immediately start acting like I'm about to cry. And I was like, I'm so sorry, I can't believe they did this to you, oh my gosh. Sorry if you can hear the train. We're just gonna press on. So the look on her face when I almost like have this meltdown, right? She was like
Reality,
horrified, like, oh
shit.
yes. So I'm like, I'll make sure this is done right. I'll make sure. So I take everything back, and I'm
Surprised
like,
you
look,
didn't try to take it off your tray and be like, never mind.
right?
Never mind.
I'm like, we need another hot dog, okay, and then we need to remake this order. So the guys at the grill, they get it going pretty quick, and I go to take it back out, and before I can even get all the way back out to her table, she comes running up to me. She is almost in tears, and she's like, I am so sorry. I don't know what came over me. She's like, I'm gonna be real with you. Like, I've just been having a really bad day.
Dog at someone, you bitch.
She's having a really bad
She was having
day.
a really
I don't
bad day.
care.
And
I have never thrown a hot dog at someone.
But get this, she felt so bad, and because of the way this was, it wasn't like a restaurant, right? Because of the way this was, we didn't really accept tips. I mean,
Yeah.
if somebody gave it to us, like, we're not going to be like, no, we can't. We're like, okay. But it wasn't like a thing. And she ended up giving me like a $30 tip because she felt so bad.
Good.
And then it was one of those places where, you have the survey at the end of the receipt. She called and did the survey and told them that I was so amazing and awesome. Like, she made up
She's
for
like,
it.
I was a bitch and she was so great.
She made up for it, and it was because she was just having a really bad go of things, and I kind of in a petty way, slapped her in the face with reality that I'm
really
a real
thankful
person.
My face says, "Don't fucking do it." And
That's
people
true.
do not
I mean,
think about
really,
throwing.
whenever people were like that, like, you know, I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna leave there. And you know, for some reason,
I'm like
they don't.
smiling, and they're
They
just
don't
like,
FAFO, which okay, you know, will handle herself. Just a look, but I am not quite. I mean, maybe I should have tried that, but like, so I had not a hot
different
dog.
strokes for different folks.
Brahms is a hard place to work. I'm sorry, but
I
y'all have
love
to figure out a better way
Brahms.
to handle your square depths, okay?
I
it
love
was
them,
terrible,
though.
by the way. It was terrible to work there. I'm sorry. Maybe it was just this one,
Your
but I
food's
seriously doubt it.
delicious.
Your food is good. That's why I stayed working there. I also gained a lot of weight. But anyway,
The
that's
milk's
beside the
really
point.
good, too.
But one day I was trying to make a shake for this guy, and I like stuck it out the window. I was having a rough day. I was also out of cigarettes, and I was a smoker. Anyway, and he's like, "It's too thin," and I'm like, "Okay." So like, I take it back in, and I add more ice cream, blend it up, and he's like, "You don't know how to effing make a shake, right?" Because it was too thick for him, right? So I take it back again, and I add more milk into it. So now I've like made the shake like 3 times. So I'm like, "What the hell is going on?" Like, you know, like this guy is just being nuts. So I had already told him to pull up because, you know, you only got like 10 seconds to give them their food and make
You're
it
like,
move
"Get out of
along,"
my window.
right? You got a little beeping window at you. Whatever. That's not okay either, by the way. And the customer's not always
Bastards
right.
gotta be
Anyway,
fast.
so we I walk out to take him the shake, right, to his truck, and I walk through that little door they give you, you know. And so I hand it to him, and he opens it up and he looks at it, and I'm just walking away at this point, right? So I go to open the door, and right as it closes behind me, this guy had tried to throw that shake at me, and it hit the top of that window and splattered all over the door.
Oh, no.
Right before, like, if I wouldn't have shut that door, it would have hit me and exploded all over me. What makes someone do something like that? What kind of, you know, I see people do this in food service, and it's got to change.
Unfortunately, it comes from an entitled mentality.
Yeah, the customer is not always right, bitch. All right?
No.
Period. I'm sorry.
You know, maybe that's part of the problem.
It is
that
part of the problem.
My generation included, you know, was so ingrained in our heads. Whenever you work a service or a retail
There's
job,
a
that
fine line
customers are
between-
always right. Customers are always right.
Yeah.
So you end up just taking
Service
shit.
take a lot of
messed up
abuse,
is
okay?
The customer
Abuse.
is always right is
Panty
not even
men,
the full phrase.
People not tipping after coming in with a table of 15 right before you're supposed to close.
Ugh.
I'm sorry, but there's a certain group that comes in and they leave no tips at all. And everybody
Sorry,
in
you
the service
come in at
industry
5
knows who
minutes
that is. And I guarantee you, everyone in the comment section is probably going to
You
say
come
it.
in 5 minutes
okay?
before close, you're getting an auto 20% gratuity, and I don't care. Like,
Oh man, I've
you better
got some
think about your
messages.
decision.
The customer service industry has to change because it's switched from there are people that go in and they want to sit down and eat and have a good time with their family, but then there are people who every single time they go into a restaurant, they are so abusive
It
that
is-
like I don't want to
they
go
wanna
anywhere
use-
with them. I'm like, I am not going
They
to the
want to
restaurant
use
with this
every
person.
coupon. They're running their waiter like they're a
screaming
slave.
at them,
It
and they're
is-
like, "Oh, okay, this is all right, I suppose." You know, like talking.
Don't
to
be
I'm like,
passive
"You're at a
aggressive to
fucking
me."
Olive Garden, bitch." I'm sorry.
When you're hearing your family.
Yeah,
which
eat
means
your bread shit.
your
Dixon,
pasta-
shut up. Your bread shits and shut up, man.
when you're here, your family, which means you don't bitch. That's what we didn't do at our table.
And let me tell you
You get what
something.
you get, you don't
Don't
throw a
throw a
fit.
If y'all
Yes.
ever watched the movie Waiting,
Yes.
okay, don't send your food back, man. I've worked in the service industry most of my young
I
adult life,
would
and I'm
not.
not going to say anything else other than I would tell you that you should behave at your restaurant with the people that feed you your food.
Like the times
Okay.
I'm not a
Do
picky
it.
eater, and thankfully don't have any food allergies
I'm
either.
nice
So
to
I will just
everybody,
eat.
and
Like,
I
I'm like, I
tip
don't care. Cool, I didn't ask for that. Great, I'm still gonna eat it.
I won't send my food back. I
I
won't even send it back, even if I'm being really, really nice. I'm just like, you know what? I'm just not even hungry, but I really like
Yeah,
it. But it's not your
what
fault. It's not your fault.
Normally,
it's okay.
what happens is
You know,
I'm
like-
with someone that's like, "But you really don't like that." And I'm like, "It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine." And they're like, "Hey," and upside, most of my friends are very, very sweet. And they're like, "Hey, no rush, but like, that's not what she ordered." And I'm like, "Just shut up."
Yeah, like I mean, I know how hard that industry is.
It's so
Food
bad.
industry is really one of
Kitchen,
the
front of
toughest
house,
ones.
all of it. It's so rough.
It is.
I guess the overall theme here is that like you have a lot of people, whether you work in
Kindness goes a long way.
whether you work in service or not, like you've got a lot of people that definitely relate to this problem. I think is what we can surmise.
And there's a
from
lot of
this.
witches that also work in that industry. Just FYI.
Yes.
P's and Q's, man.
Yes, yes.
Someone gets to hold that spoon.
We ready for the last question?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a long
Drum
answer.
roll, please. Where? Everywhere.
Ah.
We found it.
Okay.
It's like, where's Waldo?
oh
Oh
Oh.
Yes.
no! I don't like that sound.
This
That makes me stressed.
This
Bite
was
the pillow.
this was this was submitted by Melissa. Ooh. What do you think of the 4,000 AI data centers the federal, state, county, city, and town government shoving down the throats of the people, taking away the land that is used for food and all the fresh country air? Whew, okay, hot. We're ending this one with a bang, aren't we? I think, ooh. Am I gonna get canceled right off the bat here with this?
It's gonna get political, right? Off the bat.
It is. So, I think that data centers can play a positive role in certain areas, okay? The ones that I hear about that they help lower the property taxes for that area. They provide their own water source, things like that. As long as they're doing it right, cool, whatever. And the most important thing about that is if the people in that community and in that area are okay with that, with the benefits, and they're okay with, the drawbacks of having it, cool, whatever. I don't think that if you have an entire community or the majority saying, please no, we don't want that here, you should just go find a different community.
Yeah.
I think the communities need to stand strong. I love that the people that don't want them are standing up and saying, we don't want this in our area. And some of them are, affecting real change in that aspect. Some of them, I have seen articles where the data center was going to be built and the community stood up and said, absolutely, not, we don't want you here. And of course, I'm sure there was a lot of, back and forth before the final decision was made, but some of them, these data centers have pulled out and decided to go elsewhere because it just wasn't worth the trouble
If
to
you have a
fight the
hostile
community.
environment, it's very likely people are going to start vandalizing all your very, very expensive equipment.
Yeah, and look, and I'm not saying that's right either,
No.
because whether you like something or not, whether you agree with it or not, like you should not, cause damage to
There's
other
better
people's properties.
avenues.
Mainly for the mundane reason of it's not worth getting yourself in trouble for. Okay, for me, it's not worth getting myself in trouble for.
I didn't do anything. Really.
I mean, there's sometimes where I will kind of toe that line a little bit if it's a cause that I really, really, really feel passionate about. But yeah, I mean, if you don't want it in your community and you have a lot of other people in your community that also don't want them there, keep on keeping on, keep on going to the council meetings or the hearings that are deciding things like this. Make your voice heard. We all have a voice. We should all use it. We all have opinions, and some of those opinions have real value in them. And yeah, that's all I got, really.
So I am very ignorant in this topic, mainly because I have purposely stayed that way because I just don't want to get into it, honestly. But I do agree with your your take on the people that stood up and got it taken out of their communities because they didn't want it. It's very similar to when the wind farm movement was a really big thing, and we're gonna put wind farms everywhere. And there was a lot of rural communities.
That was not a good idea.
There was a lot of rural communities
that was not a good
that
idea.
were like, no, the cons to this mess up our ecosystems and our livelihood. And so if
They're loud and
there's a
nature.
community of them, if there's a community in that area that does not want those things, again, band together, use the proper channels,
Yes.
and protest appropriately to those things. They can be both a blessing and a curse. Everything can be both a blessing and a curse. There's a positive and negative to everything. The fine line that no one seems to want to toe is the balance between the two. You can't underindulge and you can't overindulge. You gotta find the equilibrium there. In some communities they work really great, in other communities they don't work at all.
Yeah.
Same concept with a lot of different. Now I know, natural resource farming is not necessarily the same, but it's the same concept as wind farms, solar farms, when solar farm movement was a huge thing, a lot of people were like, I don't want you putting all those things in my field. You have to find the community that's appropriate for.
Right.
And how to toe that line without sticking it to one community versus the other, basically.
Yeah. You know, there's another aspect of this too where you want, regarding any industry really, but you know, since this is the topic of data centers, there's a lot of concern about the water usage and the electrical usage, the strain on the grid.
Fast.
Yes. Yeah. And I think that it's important for you to not just fight for your community on this aspect, but do some research about what environmental regulations are in place. Because if they're following, you know, the EPA recommendations and the natural, you know, protecting the natural
there's
world.
different cooling methods and different ways that
Right.
don't waste as much versus
Right.
that waste a lot and are
Yes,
extremely
and they're not all the
wasteful.
same.
Yeah.
And so, you know, make sure that they're following the environmental regulations. And if you don't like the environmental regulations,
Fight to change them.
fight that too. You
Everybody
know?
needs an advocate.
Everybody, including nature,
Yep.
especially
They
nature.
don't have a voice. That's what we're here for.
So I'm going to take us back to economics.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
we're gonna go back there, and you know I can get there. But anyways, I'm gonna take us back all the way to economics. We as Americans, when we used to unify together, and we wanted to cut off something like that, we always hit them where it hurt. We
Their wallets.
stopped buying
Yep.
it. But this is different because a lot of people aren't paying for AI anymore. It's everywhere. It's in Canva. It's on your phones. It's on your Google Translate. You buy an iPhone these days, or even
An Android.
an Android phone, and it's going to come with some form of AI.
Yep.
When you ask a question on a website, you're going to get an AI robotic response. It's crazy. They're making you verify whether or not you're a human or not to check your bank account. Excuse me, what robots are actually checking my bank account or trying to verify whether or not I have a water bill this month? When did that happen, and why did no one say, hey, what kind of effing robots are out there doing this?
Boom! Terminators running all around this motherfucker.
Is there a robot problem? Did someone forget to send a fucking memo? Where are the robots? I want to see them. Are they like, you know, bug robots inside of, you know, space internet? The
pigeons.
What the hell? And nobody asked any questions about it. All right, so I'm off of that subject, but that also bothers me. But anyways, supply and demand. Supply and demand. The reason why they're able to do that is because we're supplying it.
Yep.
We're using it every day for everything. Everybody's got a freaking AI picture of themselves in some kind of suit somewhere in their cover photos. Look inward, man. The reason why they're doing this and putting them up everywhere is because they can't keep up with the amount of people and businesses and companies using it. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing either, on a very moderated level. But I'm going to tell you something about the water. I have traveled around the country quite a bit here recently, and I'm going to tell, and I mean really recently, and I'm going to tell you what I saw that broke my heart. Water that was so polluted right here in our country because of regulations that are not tight on maintaining pollution and making sure that pollution isn't destroying stuff. And I know that's a hot topic too. I'm gonna tell you that water, okay, is important. We have to have it. It's non-negotiable.
Right.
Okay?
We die without
And
it.
people in states on the Gulf along Mississippi and Louisiana, the water is so bad right now that it is causing flesh-eating bacteria. You can't even get in there. The locals told us not to get in the water, and I still did it, and then afterwards regretted it because they started telling me that I need to go take a shower immediately. I might die from getting in the water.
Amoebas.
Here in the United States, we're doing that. And then you know what I saw?
Wait, hold on, just a second. So these amoeba, like the flesh-eating bacteria, and
Flesh-eating
stuff,
bacteria from a cut or any
right,
Any
right.
form of wound.
wouldn't the the man-made pollutants be killing those off though? It's making them worse.
They're pumping sewage. They're pumping.
Because
They're pumping street
because
runoff
the
right in there. There's
pollution-
these huge
The
pipes.
pollution's hitting
you
the
know,
water. all the animals in the ecosystem in
Dead
the water
fish
is dying.
all along there.
That decay is then
Water is
increasing the
brown.
rate of
Okay, that
growth
makes sense.
for
Yeah.
Oogie
Ugh.
boogies.
They had
don't
recently
get in
said
the
they had a
ocean.
storm down there, and so they
I
have
don't
these
like
big,
water.
huge black pipes that are running right into the ocean. And also, while I was there, a train spilled a bunch of diesel. And, you know, I thought in my head for some reason, because I've never seen a spill happen right in front of me, which I was also scared because in Texas we've had some pretty bad ones, right? And so when I saw this diesel pumping out right in front of a bar where a bunch of people were standing, I ran pretty fast. Actually, I'm proud of myself. I took off, and I was also holding a cigarette, and I'm like, why is everyone standing around like this is normal?
Right.
And so the
wanna blow
conductor closes it right in front of everybody, and all of that diesel runs right into the water. And I'm like, what in the hell? Like, no one was going to clean that up? Nobody thought that was maybe important?
That's terrible. Oh my God, that's terrible.
Yeah, it's really terrible. And then on my way back, I saw so many, like, large portions of land with trees that were, like, older than me and you, chopped down. And it's all in the name of profit. At some point, you know, we're going to have to ask ourselves, like, how much is too much, dude? Was it really worth it if we're drinking water that is contaminated? Because that's all we have left. You know, I'm just saying, and I'm not trying to be, what's that little orange guy with the mustache? What's that?
The
I
Lorax.
speak for the trees. I do speak for the trees, man. And the water. Because I want my grandchildren to be alive. I want them to not have to struggle or fight for normal resources that we should know better.
Agreed.
And it's a simple thing. And so we can't stop at the AI data centers. Every time you get into your car, get on the phone and answer a question like this too. You know, you're using something. You're using a phone that took resources.
Mindfulness.
Yeah. And
You know,
it goes really deep. And
It does, and honestly, I think like we could spend hours upon hours talking about the man-made
Don't get me started.
effects on the natural world.
If that's something you want to hear about.
It was really, really bad. And also I was so sad because I went there to go see the water. And then I could just I just had to stand outside of the water and get sunburnt. Which took about 10 minutes.
You're like, you're so
Take
close.
long.
I'm like so far.
Like a little piece of bacon out there on the beach. And like just looking at the water like, I wanted to go swimming, you know.
Aw.
But it's all right. I got some seashells.
Oh man, are they contaminated seashells?
I mean, I gave them to all of you, so I hope not.
Those seashells.
It's on my altar. It's fine.
I wouldn't like put it in anything you're like
I don't
Drink
plan to
or, yeah.
consume.
don't like use it for
seashell
your
anything.
sushi board or something, you know what I mean? I probably wouldn't do that.
No, I don't
No.
like the beach. I think that's what it. Like I like the ocean.
I don't like the beach.
I don't like the beach. I don't like the beach.
I don't like the dark deep though. Fuck.
Like sand everywhere.
Oh, I love that. I would be fine.
Sand everywhere. Yep.
I would love to be submerged and just like dumped off, like right in the middle of the ocean, to where
The
it feels like
in
I'm
the-
floating
the
and you
fucking
look down and you
trench.
can't see anything at all
You're gonna go
except for
dump you in
like
the trench?
light. I would love to be there. And by the way, one of my children just got to swim with manatees, and she said that she came up above water and the little thing looked at her and was like, and she was like in love with manatees, and I'm like, oh, you had a spiritual moment with a
sea cow.
manatee.
That's so fun.
I wish I would have been there.
Have you ever flown across the ocean? Like,
I've never flown in general.
oh, really?
Oh, if you ever do take bubble gum, because your ears will start popping, and it's
Oh,
terrible.
I carry
Yeah.
bubble gum because I have anxiety.
Yeah.
So that doesn't work for me.
I flew to New Zealand and Australia, and
Pretty deadly
there,
places.
if I had the means, I love y'all, but I'd go to Australia in a heartbeat.
I'd visit you.
Forever.
Everybody's hot in Australia, okay? When I was like on any dating website, I'm like, where are the Aussies at, man?
I
They're
want to
all
go see the
hot.
Irwins, so I will come visit.
I got to go to the Australia Zoo. I got to go to the zoo
That's my-
when he
my
was still
bucket
alive. I
list.
was young.
Oh.
Yeah. So anyway, there's definitely a point where you're flying out, and at one point we were flying at night, and you can see kind of the moon reflecting off of the ocean a little bit. You know, I mean, you're high above it, right, in a plane. But I remember looking out and just going like, you can't see any land, none. And there was sort of a flash moment of like terror, like, oh
We
my
cry.
god,
We go
like,
down right here. I'm just
nobody's
in the
finding
water.
us. Like, it's so far out there that you cannot. You're high up in the air. You cannot see land. I mean, and this goes on for hours. It was like I think it was like a 14-hour flight from Australia to LAX. Yeah. Oh, creepy. Really kind of creepy.
Especially at
cruise-
night.
My cruise
dark.
to Belize and Harvest Caye and Costa Maya, it was kind of like a casino cruise. So like everybody went to bed early, a little bit of an older crowd than me. But anyway, I don't, because I'm a night owl. So of course it was a full moon too, and also the day after Halloween. So I'm like, I run down through there and nobody's upstairs or anywhere on any of the decks, and I'm like, oh, I'm going exploring for certain.
I ain't got
I'm gonna go see the
witnesses.
places I'm not supposed to go see.
I ain't got witnesses.
I'm not gonna name that cruise. But if you saw me there, don't say anything. Shh. Anyway, so like I immediately go down to like the bottom of the ship, and which you're allowed to be there, but they have all these like don't cross danger.
I don't go any farther.
Yeah, but anyway, boundaries,
get
right?
murdered.
Of course, I go over to go look at it, and I'm like, wow. It's the first time I've ever seen been in the middle of the ocean like this, right? And it's beautiful, and the water is just so gorgeous. And I'm just like, I want to see what's following along. Like, I know I'm going to see a dolphin or a fish or something. You know what? I didn't see a single fish for 8 days on my cruise.
Really?
Not a single solitary fish. Nothing. Not a fish anywhere.
Wow.
Nothing.
Not
a
I will
single
say
fish.
they've gotten where they avoid big ships and vessels now.
I guess that makes sense.
I was waiting for a
That
dolphin
makes
or
sense.
anything.
And some ships, so the way the big cruise ships work, they're supposed to take certain routes and paths to avoid whales and stuff like that, because if they hit a whale with their bow, it kills them and they can get in very, 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 very big trouble. The Atlantic, I
was
believe,
cool.
is
I didn't get to get off the boat in Honduras. It was very, very beautiful. But I will also tell you, even there, like at that point in time, I saw a line of pollution there. And I thought to myself, man, that's terrible. And then I come back home, and then, months later, I am sitting there staring at our own pollution in this ocean. And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with us? What's wrong with us? We have to fix it. We have to fix it.
We have
Stand
to
up and
fix
be an
it.
advocate. It only takes one person. Be noisy. Be noisy.
That's all the questions we have tonight, ladies.
Be noisy.
Yes. Throw one of these at them. That'll work.
Throw one of those at them.
Not in the water.
Yes.
In a direction.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on our first episode of the Cauldron Counsel. This was amazing. I love talking to you guys about stuff. If you have a question, please submit it. We will put the link to our submission form in the description. Submit your question, especially, or if you're just looking for advice on something, if you want it answered by 3 crazy witches.
Mundane or magical.
Mundane or magical, it doesn't matter. Yeah. That's all I've got.
Blessed be.
Bye.
Bye.